All right, so welcome again, Elaine, to the Zoom room for this afternoon session. So we'll just dive into having a look at today's quote, a little bit of teaching in support of that, and that's going to lead us nicely into today's lesson, which is quite similar to the quote, and the quote leads into the lesson. So just getting the live stream going quickly. Give me 30 seconds to accomplish that. All right, so share my screen with you. So you can read the quote.
Forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace.
So today's quote is another succinct summary of what forgiveness can do for you. It also tells you how you can motivate yourself to forgive. But it may not seem very, quote, spiritual or noble at all. You might think, well, surely others do deserve your forgiveness because of who they really are. You shouldn't be forgiving them only for selfish reasons, and only forgiving them because you want peace. But if you just pause to ponder the quote, appreciate its deep wisdom. So trying to forgive others never works, precisely because you are perceiving them as others. So the belief in separation or ego is still the foundation of your perception. Then from the shaky foundation of false belief, you try and see them as deserving despite what they've done, which emphasizes that they, as individual people, have really done it. So in other words, you believe they have really sinned. So you believe they've really sinned, and then you try to pardon their so-called real sins. So you see the problem. As soon as you make it real in your mind, then you have to somehow now pardon or overlook, forgive their real sins. So in contrast, true forgiveness recognizes that it's only your own thoughts and emotions about anyone or anything that are a problem. And if they're disturbing your peace of mind, then you're making yourself suffer by thinking and feeling it. So it's all in an internal process. So if this sounds insane, because it is insane. Contemplating this quote can help you become acutely aware of your own state of mind, and also help you choose peace instead of disturbing emotions like anger, fear, and guilt, because it reminds you that you deserve better and to suffer because of these self-inflicted emotional wounds. So we become much more aware of our emotions. So when you experience the peace that applying this quote to your life can bring you, you shouldn't have a problem feeling motivated to forgive ever again. This ability to motivate yourself to forgive is essential if you're going to practice forgiveness or letting go regularly, and ultimately make it the default way you handle any challenging situations, as Yeshua states clearly in this passage from section 5 of chapter 6 of the text. So if you want to read that quote.
Increasing motivation for change in the learner is all that a teacher need do to guarantee change. Change in motivation is a change of mind, and this will inevitably produce fundamental change because the mind is fundamental.
So therefore, applying today's quote, to increase your motivation to forgive as enlightened self-interest will also benefit others, because they will experience your peace directly due to an interaction you have with them, or indirectly via the one mind we will share. So if you're just more peaceful and you don't know them, but that gets programmed into the one mind, and that's going to rub off on them via the quantum field, not directly in an interaction. You're seeing them, speaking to them, but just going into the ether. So they did some studies in 1992, I think it was, or 93. They had a conference, a meditation conference in Washington, D.C. in the US. And they predicted, based on previous studies on a smaller scale, that crime should decrease in the city over the period of the meditation conference, which was about 6 weeks, by about 25%. And so they got the stats from the police department, said, this is what we want to test. So what were the stats last year? And they got them, and they said, okay, well, will you give us the stats for the same period this year? And the police were mystified. Well, why has it gone down 25%? There's no rational explanation other than that there was this meditation conference happening in the city. And they predicted that it would happen. So they kind of loaded it in. There was some kind of expectation or intention. And so it affected indirectly the whole field of that city. And because it affects the field, it affects people's thoughts and emotions. And then there's not as much crime because people are feeling more peaceful, calmer, more connected to source. So as Yeshua clearly states in Workbook Lesson 137, when you're healed, you're not healed alone. As Gandhi implied, you must first experience the peace out the world. This is a key teaching course. So there's a bonus discussion for you there. We explain what true prayer is. Just to recap on that, it's always forgiveness or letting go of any negative thoughts or emotions that block the awareness of love's presence. Because when you have this awareness, you realize you need nothing else. And all prayer in the conventional sense of praying for something external to complete you becomes irrelevant. Because you've accepted that you're already whole, complete, and therefore have everything. So we also discussed the deep peace and rest comes from letting go of our negativity. Now building the mind training practices like daily lessons really helps. To pray without ceasing, as Paul called it. Praying without ceasing means that you're connected to your source 24/7. So you want to read that?
Let go continuously. Be joyful and grateful for everything you experience, because this is the will of perfect love for you, exemplified by Yeshua, who identified only with the one true self we share.
Oh, so that's instead of praying without ceasing, it's translated into perhaps more accessible language. It has let go continuously. That's what he means. let go continuously, that leads to joy and gratitude for everything. And this is the will of perfect love, as taught to us. So Yeshua becomes the example. He's not some figure to be worshipped. He's just a Weisha. He's the example of someone who's completely identified himself with his true self and the Christ while we're in this world. Okay, so that's a nice one to listen to if you've got some time. Discussion session. So that brings us to today's session and our lesson, which I'll just bring up. So where are we? All right, so you want to read that in the original and then the alternative, and then go into reading the. Just wait a moment. Let me get the recording going. Okay, so this is lesson 122.
Forgiveness offers everything I want. Letting go offers me everything I want.
So we normally associate wanting with our needs, but letting go offers me everything I truly want. Might even add in I'll have to change the slides, but letting go offers me everything I truly want. Okay, so you read number 1, then the original, and then the alternative.
What could you want forgiveness cannot give? What could I want that letting go cannot provide? Do you want peace? Do I want peace? Forgiveness offers it. Letting go offers it. Do you want happiness, a quiet mind, certainty of purpose, a sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do I want happiness, a quiet mind, certainty of purpose, and a sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do you want care and safety and the warmth of sure protection always? Do I want care and safety and the warmth of sure protection always?
Yeah, you just read it in the alternative.
Or just in the alternative. Do I want a quietness that cannot be disturbed, a gentleness that never can be hurt, a deep abiding comfort and a rest so perfect it can never be upset?
Yeah, so lots of questions there, which are answers obvious, surely. That's one of the ways that he teaches to ask these questions. I mean, the answer should surely be obvious to us. If it's not, then the answer needs to reveal itself through the Holy Spirit. We're saying, why wouldn't you want this? Surely you want happiness, peace, care, safety, sure protection, quietness that cannot be disturbed. Surely all these things are what you truly want. And if he puts it like this, we have to agree and say, yeah, actually, I do want these things. Okay, so any comments? You want to summarize paragraph 1?
Well, it's a very reassuring paragraph. You know, if we just let go, then we're in perfect peace and safety and care. I mean, it says it all. And quietness that can't be disturbed. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
It comes down to what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this whole thing boils down to what do you really want? You look at the timeline, consciousness, not timeline, sorry, the descent into hell. Show you that as an opening. So you see, that it comes down to decision. What do you choose? What do you want? We decided to be a separate self. We decided we wanted separation once upon a time when time started. And that has kicked off a whole thought system based on separation, guilt, sin, fear, attack. But it's a decision in the mind to continue to want that. So whenever you honor these things and you make them real in your mind, you're saying, I want separation. Or you have to say, no, I don't want. Surely I want peace. Surely I want happiness, care and sure protection, all these things he's talked about, rather than guilt and sin and fear and attack. So now I choose that. Well, the only thing that's going to give me that experience is God, love, pure formless awareness. So I must go in this direction in order to experience more of that. And then the Holy Spirit is guiding you back home, back to your source. So that's the reinterpretation. That it's just a stop this. Just a decision. It's a choice, ultimately, to what you want. That's what it comes down to. And so that's what he's addressing here. It comes down to the level of choice. What do we want? If you want all these things, you want peace, then you must make the decision for the Holy Spirit, because that's the only entity in your mind that's going to bring you peace. Okay, anything else?
No, that's perfectly clear.
Okay.
Next one. Yeah.
So, next one.
In the original, all this forgiveness offers you and more.
No, I think the only thing that's going to translate there is forgiveness into letting go.
Okay, so I'll stick in the alternative.
Yeah.
All this letting go offers me and more. It sparkles on my eyes as I awake and gives me joy with which to meet the day. It soothes my forehead while I sleep and rests upon my eyelids, so I see no dreams of fear and evil, malice and attack. And when I wake again, it offers me another day of happiness and peace. All this letting go offers me and more.
Change that around. Maybe we say letting go. Offers me all this.
Yeah, that's better.
and more. Okay, so what's he saying? Summary of this.
Key is just letting go of everything, and it offers you, great peace, away from evil and fear and so forth. And but just when we wake, we are filled with happiness and peace, and each day follows on. It offers everything, really. Letting go. Yeah.
So it's the one thing, the one thing that's going to give us everything we truly want. This is what he's telling us in this lesson. The one skill you need to master, the one thing you need to do to give you everything you truly want. So what else could work? What fancied value, trivial effect, or transient promise never to be kept can hold more hope than what forgiveness brings? There's nothing that the ego can offer you that can bring you more. Okay.
Yeah.
So number 3.
And both are just the alternative.
There's a bit of translation to do. So read it in the original and then the alternative.
Forgiveness lets the veil be lifted up that hides the face of Christ from those who look with unforgiving eyes upon the world. Letting go lets the veil be lifted up that hides the face of true self from those who look with unforgiving eyes upon the world. It lets you recognize the Son of God and clears your memory of all dead thoughts.
Just do it in the alternative as you go.
I've just done that one.
Okay, you've done the alternative.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it lets you recognize the Son of God and clears your memory of all dead thoughts, so that remembrance of your Father can arise across the threshold of your mind. And it lets me recognize that extension of perfect love clears my memory of all false thoughts, so that remembrance of perfect love can arise beyond the threshold of my limited awareness. What would you want forgiveness cannot give? What gifts, but these are worthy to be sought? Oh, I think I've just skipped one. What gifts, but these are worthy to be sought?
Worthy for me.
Oh yes, personal.
That's
yeah. What gifts, but these are worthy for me to seek? Yeah, that's better. What fancied value, trivial effect, or transient promise, never to be kept, can hold more hope than what forgiveness brings? What fancied value, trivial effect, or impermanent promise, never to be kept, can hold more hope than what letting go brings?
So it's contrasting what the ego offers with what the Holy Spirit offers via letting go, and saying, well, if you look at them honestly, letting go offers you everything, the ego offers you nothing. So none of the illusions, the fancied values, trivial effects, impermanent promises, never to be kept, because the ego is a liar and deceiver, can possibly hold more hope than what letting go brings. So trying to encourage us and say, look, this is really a good idea because there's huge benefits for you, and there's not really an alternative that offers you anything similar. Okay, so any thoughts on that? You want to summarize that?
Well, letting go lifts the veil that hides our true self. And with unforgiving eyes upon the world, we are, it's completely covered up to see this perfect love and our true selves. And we need to recognize this perfect love so it clears all our memory of false thoughts, and so that the remembrance of perfect love can rise beyond all of our limited awareness. Just basically, letting go in every moment of our false thoughts.
Yeah, he's giving us this kind of a motivational, little lesson, this, because he's saying there's nothing that's going to offer us more. Contrasting it with the ego's thought system, saying, really, do any of these things really offer you what forgiveness or radically letting go can offer you? So it's getting us through these lessons to make a decision, to make a choice, to go with the Holy Spirit's thought system and not vacillate between them. Saying, no, that thought system makes sense. It's powerful. It's eternal. It's what I am. It's what I choose, and anything else is not my choice. Why am I choosing an illusion when I can have the truth? Okay, so here's number 3.
Number 4.
Yeah, moving on. Steered in the alternative. So
just in the alternative. Yeah. Why would I seek an answer other than the answer that will answer everything? Here is the perfect answer given to imperfect questions, meaningless requests, half-hearted willingness to hear, and less than halfway diligence and partial trust. Here is the answer. Seek for it no more. I will not find another one instead.
I seek for it no more. I'll not find another one instead. And what's he saying there?
Well, why seek for an answer other than the answer that will answer everything, which is our perfect self, true self? You'll get the perfect answer from imperfect questions, meaningless requests, half-hearted willingness, etc. Here's the answer. You don't need to seek any further. And you'll not find another one instead of.
Yeah, I'll summarize. So saying there isn't really another option. although you think there is. So what he's doing through this workbook is he's cutting away, he's helping us to make a decision, clear-cut decision against the ego and for the spirit, cutting away the option of the ego as a viable, sensible, rational option, which it never was. But if we think it is, then we continue believing in it. So by highlighting its insanity and contrasting with the Holy Spirit's thought system, he's showing us that actually it is insane. Okay, happy with number 4?
Yes.
Number 5, God's plan for your salvation. Read it in the first one, just the first sentence in the original.
God's plan for salvation cannot change, nor can it fail. Perfect love's plan for awakening cannot change, nor can it fail. Be thankful it remains exactly as it planned it. Changelessly, it stands before me with an open door, with warmth and welcome calling from beyond the doorway, inviting me to enter in and make myself at home where I belong.
Bidding me, yeah. Bidding is asking. Should I make that asking?
Yeah.
Well, how about inviting? Bidding, inviting me to enter. That's a nice.
Yeah.
I belong.
Yeah.
And home would be. Okay, so what's he saying there?
Well, perfect love's plan is for my awakening. Cannot fail. We need to be thankful because it's planned. It's exactly as it is planned, how it's planned. It's there with an open door, with warmth and welcome calling, inviting me to enter and make myself at home where I belong.
Mm-hmm. So it's changeless, it's eternal. The idea of the open door, we've discussed that analogy before. I'm going through an open door, which is in the now. The door is only in the now. And then as I stay in the now, that takes me deeper and I can open the door and I can start accessing this other reality, which is vast and infinite. I go through a door, which seems to be quite narrow. That's the present moment in this world, into this vast, infinite expanse of reality in my mind. Calling us home, capital home to heaven, state of pure formless awareness. Okay, happy with that?
Yes.
Here is the answer again in the original, then the alternative, but to translate there.
Here is the answer. The same. Would you stand outside while all of heaven waits for you within? Shall I read in the alternative as well?
Yes.
I need it to, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Would I stand outside while the whole of the state of pure formless awareness waits for me within? Let go and be released. As I give, I will receive. There is no plan but this for the awakening of
Sorry. Hang on.
of the extension of perfect love. Let us today rejoice that this is so, for here I have the answer, clear and plain beyond deceit in its simplicity. All the complexities the world has invented, based on disappear before the power and the majesty of this extremely simple statement of the truth.
Okay, so what's he saying here?
Well, the answer's here now.
Hmm.
If we choose to let go now, we are released.
Hmm.
All the
Interesting.
complexities.
Now here, if you have now here and you put that together as a word, it becomes nowhere.
Yeah, right.
So you're being now here, you're nowhere. You're not localized in time anymore.
Right, that's good.
You're not rooted in time space. This is pointing you to state of mind beyond time space.
Yeah.
Okay. So any other thoughts on that? What's he saying there in summary?
Well, like I was saying, it's your answer's here now. If we choose to let go, we can be released now.
Hmm.
We need to rejoice today that this is so. For here we have an answer, clear and plain, beyond deceit in its simplicity. All the complexities of the world are invented based on fragile beliefs, and they disappear before the power to the extremely simple statement of the truth.
So it dissolves all the complexity and the chaos. It just cuts through all of that. Reminds me of the Gordian knot. So legend has it that Alexander the Great was traveling through Asia on his conquests, and there was this knot, and the sort of legend had it that whoever could untie the knot, incredibly difficult, complex knot, whoever could untie the knot would be the sort of conqueror of Asia or of the world, some prophecy like that. So he looked at it and was complicated and would have taken hours, if not days, to figure out how to do it by hand. And he just took his sword and he cut it. I was like, okay, just cut through all the complexity. In a way, the Holy Spirit is like that sword. Cut through all the complexity, all the complex knots. Cut through it with the simple truth, which undoes all the knots. They don't exist then. So all that complexity and the tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive, as Shakespeare put it, are undone. And the simple truth restored in our minds. And this is what today's lesson offers. So he's giving us, the motivation. He's saying this is why you should want to, to apply this lesson and this thought system. Because look at what it can do for you, and contrast it with what the ego system is, because those are the only two options. And you'll be able to make the choice very easily. Okay. So any other thoughts on that?
No, that's clear.
Number 7 then.
And the alternative or both?
Yeah, I'll read both because we've got quite a lot of guide going on in there.
Here is the answer. Do not turn away in aimless wandering again. Accept salvation now. It is the gift of God. Oops.
Yeah, so then
translated
okay. By
I see. I accept awakening now. It is the gift of perfect love and not the world. The world can give no
freedom.
Sorry? Freedom. Oh, I accept freedom now. Yeah. It is the gift of perfect love. Shall I continue in the alternative?
Yeah, so the gift of God and not the world shall be the gift of perfect love and not the world.
The word amount. It is the gift of perfect love and not the world. Same. The world can give no gifts of any value to a mind that has received what God has given as its own. The world can give no gift of any value to a mind that has received what pure formless awareness of perfect love has given as its own. Pure formless awareness of perfect love, will's awakening, be received today, and the intricacies of my dreams no longer hide their nothingness from me.
Will that freedom be received today? The intricacies of my dreams no longer hide their nothingness from me. What was that? What do you say? Experience freedom today. Intricacies of my dreams no longer hide their nothingness from me. So all of that complexity and intricacy that the ego specializes in is cut through, and we see through the charade, the illusion, to the simple truth. And we are one with our source, and we are one with all of its extensions, all of our brothers. Okay, any other comments or questions on that one? Elaine, you still there?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Because it's so warm here. I was, yeah. Where are we? Here. Wait, am I on number 8 here? 7.
We've done number 7. You're happy with number
sorry.
7?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So open your eyes. Do this in the alternative.
Yeah. I open my eyes today and look upon a happy world of safety and of peace. Letting go is the means by which it comes to take the place of victimhood. In quietness, it rises up to greet my open mind and fill my heart with deep tranquility as ancient truths arise in my newly expanded awareness. What I will remember then can never be described, yet my letting go offers it to me.
And then you go offers it. That should be a capital. Because we're talking about ultimate reality. When I remember them can never be described. In other words, it's ineffable.
Mm-hmm.
You can't describe it. It's indescribable. It's beyond words. And my letting go offers that to me, the ultimate transcendent reality that is beyond words. Okay. Any
Yeah, nice. A very
thoughts
nice
on this?
paragraph again. Offering much safety and peace just by letting go.
Hmm. All my
This
heart,
is
deep tranquility.
ancient
And
truths.
so
Or
he's coaching us here. He's trying to convince us. He's doing a sales job really for letting go, isn't he? For forgiveness. And he's saying this
And
is
it's-
why you should listen to it, because look at all the benefits and contrast those benefits with the costs of the ego's thought system, and it should be a no-brainer.
Totally, yes. So why do we always keep going into the other? I don't know.
Well, because we made a decision a long time ago that we wanted to be a separate self, that we chose to
The
be
default,
separate,
yeah.
and we thought that that was going to be a much better idea than oneness. And having experienced the consequences of that choice now for hundreds, thousands of lifetimes, surely by now we should be wising up and going, no, that tiny mad idea of separation and the desire to be a separate self and have my own identity was not a good idea. It really wasn't a good plan. Not a good idea at all. Because look at its consequences. Contrast that with perfect love, and which do you prefer? Surely you can see now
Yeah,
that
it's no
your
brainer.
formless awareness of perfect love would be preferable to the consequences of this horrific consequences of this idea of separation. And all this course is doing is training your mind to be able to see that difference very clearly, to be able to discern the difference between this mind and the ego mind and all that it entails. Spiritual practice just to highlight the difference for you, which is what he's doing in this lesson. And then through that clarity, you make the obvious choice. Well, if it's obviously chalk and cheese, and these are totally opposite, and I can't accept both of them into my mind, then I must choose. And if I can understand that the one choice brings, pain, suffering, sickness, death, and disaster, and the other one brings happiness, love, peace, and joy, then eternal life, then shouldn't be much of a choice. Okay, so that's why we're entrenched in this, stuck in this. Just an idea. I mean, that's all it is. It's an idea. We desired it. We made a mistake. It's a terrible idea. A really, really bad idea. And Yeshua has to now correct our minds and say, just recognize that it's a bad idea. And then you can change it. So this mind training is all about teaching us that it's a very bad idea, that we don't want this anymore, and then we're going to change our mind. And that's what all of this is for: spiritual awakening. Any spiritual path. And then automatically, if you understand that, you would choose the truth. No one in their right mind would choose pain, suffering, sickness, chaos, disaster, and death, would they? If you knew that that's what you're choosing. The illusion is that we think we're not choosing it. When we choose to be a separate self, we think we're choosing something desirable. Maybe the ego offers us a goal that we covet, a special relationship, an object, a person, a substance that we value. And we think, well, it offers us something. What he's saying is it offers you nothing. So just choose the truth. Choose your original thought system. It's still there. It's still shining through in your mind and everyone's mind. Yeah. So happy to move on to number 9.
Remembering the gifts letting go gives. I undertake my practice today with hope and faith that this will be the day I will awaken. Earnestly and gladly will I seek for it today, aware I hold the key within my hands, accepting pure formless awareness of perfect love's answer to the victimhood I made, but where I would remain no more.
Earnestly and gladly. I'll seek for it earnestly. Gladly today, aware I hold the key within my hands, accepting pure formless one's perfect love's answer to the victimhood I made. So that answer is our true self, is beyond, way so far beyond victimhood. It's not in the same order of reality. And that's hell. So accepting heaven's answer, so pure formless awareness of perfect love's answer to the victimhood. Translate hell as victimhood and suffering. Victimhood and suffering are made. But where I would remain no more. So a very clear-cut choice. Once I see the alternatives clearly, then the choice becomes obvious, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's trying to do with this lesson, and frequently throughout the course. So he gives us these sometimes quite harsh lessons. He's telling us, like, this is what the ego is, and it's awful. He needs to make us aware of it in order to correct our minds, so we won't choose it.
Yeah.
So we'll choose the Holy Spirit instead. Where I choose not to remain anymore. And so it's a clear-cut choice. I don't want the world. I don't want the thought system of the ego. I'm willing to let it all go and transcend, leave the whole thing behind, go into pure formless awareness, perfect love. Yeah.
Yeah.
That. So this says morning and evening. Let's read that quickly, and then we'll go into the practice itself.
Morning and evening, I gladly give 1/4 of an hour to the search in which the end of victimhood and suffering is guaranteed. Begin in hopefulness, for I have reached the turning point at which the road becomes far easier. And now the way is short, and yet I travel. I am close indeed to the appointed ending of the dream.
Okay, so he's just, again, motivating us, saying, okay, this is why you're practicing, reminding yourself of the purpose. This is a turning point. We're going towards truth now. The way is short. It's basically giving us a pep talk, isn't it? He's our coach. He's saying, okay, this is why, here are the benefits of this. And you're closer than you think. Keep practicing, keep going. The way is short, close indeed to the appointed ending of the dream. That's offering us a way out, and saying just practice practice these ideas, and that's your way out of the entire mad dream.
Sounds good.
Okay, so then the rest is practice. Sink into happiness as you begin these practice periods. So I'll guide you through this if you like. Would you like to do a meditation?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so just gonna give me a moment today. I'm just gonna get a glass of water.
Yeah.
Thoughts. Yeah. So just making yourself comfortable. Sitting feet shoulder width apart, your back straight. Cup your hands in your lap, close your eyes, and start off by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. So you're breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. Subtle flow of air in through the nostrils, clenching the sphincter muscle to lock the energy in, drawing the energy up your spine, to your heart center, to the crown of your head, pausing at the top of the inhale. So it's a maximal inhale breath. Just scan your mind, so noticing any thoughts, emotions, body sensations going on with you, particularly anything that feels negative, limiting, contracted, constricting in any way. And you're just going to let it all go. Reminding yourself that forgiveness or letting go offers me everything I truly want. Everything I truly want is offered to me by simple choice to let go of thoughts and emotions that disturb me, that do not serve my happiness, my peace of mind. Blow it out with the breeze of your breath, letting go of any of those negative thoughts, like dark smoke, black smoke leaving you out of your mouth, or the lower stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out. Just rest in this deep peace and sink into happiness. Sink into the happiness that is your divine birthright, that has been waiting for you forever, for all eternity. This pure formless awareness of perfect love, this absolute peace, happiness, bliss, joy. We can't even really describe these feelings, but something quite transcendent, amazing. It's a really, really high state of mind. And you just feel into this. Breathe in. Feel the certainty of this thought system. All of your questions are answered in oneness. So feel the peace that letting go offers, and the joy, the lifting of the veil of illusion. Just the veil of falsehood, false beliefs projected out, perceived as real. That's all illusion. Let all that go. You exhale, blow it all away. Releasing it all. The nothingness that it really is. Feel the joy, the lifting of the veil of illusion. It's been cast over your mind, which manifests as your perception of people, things, places, events, circumstances, all your experiences in this world. It's a veil of illusion. So breathe in, nice deep breath in. Before the light or pure formless awareness you experience today, right now, the world will fade until it disappears. Disappearance of the universe, form, falsehood. And I will perceive another world arise. I have no words to describe. Another reality arise in my awareness that is beyond words. It's ineffable. It means it's indescribable. I have no words to describe this. Just go there in your awareness, breathing in and out through your nose. Nice, deep, slow, rhythmical breaths. Focus on the breath to calm the mind and allow yourself to deepen into this experience with each breath. Going into the light, walking directly into pure formless. Pure formless awareness. I receive the gifts that have been held in store for me since time began. Kept waiting for today. Today's the day you can accept them and be glad. So just allow yourself to experience these gifts. So letting go offers everything I want. Today, all things I want are given me. But do not let my gifts recede throughout the day. As I return again to meet a world of shifting change and bleak appearances. you come back from this meditation and you return into the domain of sense perceptions, but you will not be confused. Ego has no power to pull you back into its dark thought system, its limited awareness. I retain my gifts, clarity of sight, peace, joy in my heart. These are the gifts of God or perfect love. And clear awareness as I perceive changeless in the heart of change. Awareness of truth behind all appearances. So remind yourself of these precious gifts. Frequently today you can use this form, forgiveness or letting go offers everything I want. Today I've accepted this as true. Letting go offers everything I want. Today I've accepted this as true. Breathe in on that truth and say, today I've received the gifts of perfect love. This is what it's all about. Accept the truth, it's true, and then you today I accept this as true. Today I receive the gifts of perfect love, peace, joy, happiness. Allow yourself to experience these gifts. Fully, completely, wholly for the next few minutes of deep silence. There's nowhere else to go, there's nothing else to do. Just breathe, relax, be still, so in and out through the nose. Set the breath in motion, observe the breath flowing into the nostrils and out of the nostril in a very natural, calming way. That helps to keep your monkey mind sink into the perfect love. Pure formless awareness of perfect love, which is always peaceful, joyful, blissful. Just allow those feelings, those experiences to arise in your awareness. Nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, nothing else to think about. Just breathe, relax, be still. Surrender into the depth of your being, pure formless awareness of perfect love that is what you are, that is your source. She may have denied for many, many years, but now, in this holy instant, you can experience it. Any thoughts come up to semi-disturb this deep peace? Just observe them casually with detachment. They are not your thoughts, they are not real. Thoughts do not mean anything. Cannot prevent you from accepting the deep peace of your source. So let them all go as you exhale. Blowing them out to the breeze of your breath. Surrendering into the deep peace and stillness. Your true being, your true awareness. For another couple. And so just gently coming back. In this deep connected state, and bring some awareness back into your body and the breath, senses and the world. And on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. So one, just breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. Subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. Pausing at the top of the inhale. Smile. So just check in, scan your mind, noticing any thoughts and emotions blowing through it. Noticing all these things from this very still, calm and surrendered state of mind. On yourself, letting go of is everything I want. Today I accept this as true. Today I receive the gift of perfect love. When you exhale, you blow away any dark thoughts, emotions, your breath. You exhale. Notice the air flowing out. Your mouth, the chest, and the stomach suck back in. Energy subsides back down to your stomach and groin. Count of 2, feel the weight of your body pressing down into the chair, your feet touching the ground. Noticing what you're feeling, touching. Maybe there's a subtle taste in your mouth. Smell in your nose, notice that. Notice what you're hearing in the surrounding environment. Just noticing all these things. It's very still, calm, and surrendered state. No judgment, no interpretation. Everything is holy. Everything is just okay as it is. There's just this awareness running through it. This is your true awareness. And you're going to stay rooted in that awareness. So if you're tempted to leave it, remind yourself that forgiveness offers me everything I want. Today I accept this as true. Today I receive the gifts of perfect love. So it is said and so it is done. So on the count of 3, open your eyes. Just take a minute to look around so you're noticing what's going on in the room around you. Look at any object randomly for a few seconds. Notice how peaceful your awareness is. And it's really the same awareness as you had when your eyes were closed. And close your eyes briefly and then open them again and notice that nothing's really changed. It's the same awareness. And you can look at another object and notice that it's the same awareness. Whatever the object is, whatever we call it, whatever we've named it as, is really irrelevant. It's really just the same awareness that's perceiving all of it. So you're going to stay rooted in this awareness. Practice today's lesson frequently to help you do that. Osho recommends every hour. Remind yourself that letting go offers me everything I want. Today I accept this as true. Today I receive the gifts of perfect love. To help you do that, I've given you a 3-minute breath break recording. And that's too long for you. Some instructions in your Telegram and email message that you can follow to practice in under a minute, just to keep you topped up and connected to perfect love and away from the ego's thought system. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the meditation and the first part of today's session. So stop the recording. Okay, so then you're going to be able to do some text reading.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's jump into that then, shall we? So today's text reading is called Practicing the Holy Instant, which we could translate as practicing being in the now. Let me share my screen quickly. Practicing being in the now. So section 4, chapter 15. Practicing being in the now. Okay, so I'm going to read paragraph 1. Not much translation to do. God becomes pure form, so it's perfect love. So read it in the alternative.
The course is not beyond immediate learning unless you believe that what pure formless awareness of perfect love wills takes time.
Okay, remember we personalize
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Unless
So
I
unless
believe.
that what pure formless awareness of perfect love wills takes time. And this means only that you would rather delay the recognition. No, sorry. This means only that I would rather delay the recognition that its will is so. Yeah.
Yeah.
The holy instant is this instant and every instant.
So the
Yeah,
and the holy aware moment is this moment.
The one I want it to be, it is.
It is, maybe just change that around. It is the one I want it to be.
The one I would not have it be is lost to me.
The one I choose.
One I choose not, or the one I choose for it not to be is lost to me. I must decide when it is. I will delay it not.
I will not delay it.
I will not delay it. Or beyond the past and future, where I will not find it, it stands in shimmering redness in my acceptance.
Or my acceptance.
For my acceptance. Yet I cannot bring it into glad awareness while I do not want it, for it holds the whole release from littleness.
It holds my whole release from littleness. Okay. So read that from the top.
This course is not beyond immediate learning unless I believe that what pure formless awareness of perfect love wills takes time. And this means only that I would rather delay the recognition that its will is so. The wholly aware moment is the moment and every moment. It is the
Is
one.
this moment. Is this moment and every moment.
Is this moment and every moment. It is the one I want it to be. The one I choose for it not to be is lost to me. I must decide when it is. I will not delay it, for beyond the past and future, where I will not find it, it stands in shimmering readiness for my acceptance. Yet I cannot bring it into my happy awareness while I do not want it, for it holds my whole release from littleness.
Okay, so what is he saying here? What's he saying in summary?
Well, the course is not beyond immediate learning, unless I believe in the pure formless awareness, which takes time. Well, the wholly aware moment is this moment and every moment. So it's up to me to choose. It's far beyond past and future, where I will not find it, and it will be in shimmering readiness for my acceptance. But my littleness is not happy about this.
No, not at all. Holds my whole release from littleness. So my whole release You see why we have such resistance to being in the now. You say, well, what's the problem? Why not just be rooted in the now? You know,
Totally, yeah.
there is. But if we're only in the now, there's no past, there's no future, there's no story of us, who we think we are, because that exists in past and future. And so our identity collapses. The false identity collapses into pure formless awareness of perfect love, and the ego finds that terrifying.
Yeah.
The little self is no more. So without time and space, there would be no separation. They're a product of this fundamental desire to separate. And only our decision to let go of that is going to be able to undo time, space. The idea of past and future, it's part of the time space reality which we've invented. So I must choose it. Again, the message is clear, and this dovetails nicely with the lesson, saying you must choose it. Can't help you if you don't choose it. If I don't want it, and I'm choosing the ego instead, then I keep it away from me, and I delay my release. Yeah, so any other thoughts on that?
Well, again, very clear, and why we still continue in the littleness. But the more I'm trying to get into the now, the more the dramas seem to be arising. But I guess that's just it's the littleness fighting back.
Yeah, that's defense. So it's trying to keep you out of the now and in time, because time is its defense against the illusion and against the truth. So timeline idea. So on the timeline, we seem to have a past and a future, seems from birth to death. It's a very limited reality. An individual person seemingly caught up in time. As soon as we go beyond that, the now is the gateway, shall we say, to this arrow. So that's a tunnel up into the light. The gateway would be, the arrow. And so it's very single pointed. It comes down to a single point, doesn't it? You see, that's the holy instant that he's talking about. Your attention's totally in the now. That's the access to this arrow that then takes you up and connects you with your source, takes you into a higher awareness, and can come back down and interact in the world via you in this very, focused, single-pointed way. So it's an upload and a download channel, to use RT. You can upload and you can download, but you can only do that in the now, when your attention's in the moment. That's the holy instant he's talking about. In the past or the future, then you might be uploading and downloading other ideas, but it's not real. You're not accessing source, and it's your own imagined, invented reality. So the ego has invented something for itself here, has created its own kingdom, and now can download from that. But you recognize that it's false, and it's just designed to cover over the truth of pure formless awareness, then deception can't last, and you let it go. Okay, so that timeline gives you a little bit of an idea, bit of context. So happy with number one. We'll move on to number two then.
The alternative, or is the translation?
Not very much for the first. Maybe just do the last 3 lines, 3 sentences. Alternative. So otherwise, until then, the alternative.
My practice must therefore rest upon my willingness to let all littleness go.
Just wait for me to catch up.
The instant in which magnitude dawns upon me is only as far away as I desire for it. My desire for it. As long as I do not desire it and cherish littleness instead, to that extent is it far from me. By so much as I want it, will I bring it nearer. And then do I have to go to the original for 5?
Yeah.
Think not that you can find salvation in your own way and have it. Do not think that you can find awakening your own way and have it. No, I do not think that I can find awakening in my own way and have it. Give over every plan I have made for my salvation in exchange for God's. I give over every plan I have made for my awakening in exchange for perfect loves.
So we'll make that freedom. I do not think that I can find freedom in my own way and have it. My awakening in exchange for perfect loves. On my freedom, maybe. Give over. I hand over, maybe. I hand over every plan I have made for my freedom in exchange I've made for my freedom. And exchange it for perfect loves. Okay. You've
Yes.
you may feel salvation exchange for God's. His will
His
content
will,
you, nothing else can bring you peace.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Its plan will content. Yeah. Content me, yes. And nothing else can bring me peace.
So load of water on your treatment room floor.
And the last one for peace comes from your formless awareness of perfect love and nothing else. So peace and pure formless awareness of perfect love are related. Just two sides of the same coin. Pure formless awareness brings peace.
Sorry, where was
Peace means that you must be in pure formless awareness.
Yeah. And therefore,
Comes
peace,
from
yeah, pure formless awareness of perfect love and nothing else.
okay, you want to read that from the top then?
Yeah, I'll just read that and then I've got to go up because there's a bit of a flood upstairs. Therefore, my practice must rest upon my willingness to let all littleness go. The instant in which magnitude dawns upon me is only as far away as my desire for it. As long as I do not desire it and cherish littleness instead, to that extent is it far from me. By so much as I want it, will I bring it nearer. I do not think that I can find, can't see that word. There's a block there. Oh, find freedom in, is it my? Yeah. In my own way and habit. I hand over every plan I have made for my freedom and exchange it for perfect love. Sorry, can I just have 2 minutes? My husband's having a bit of a problem here. Can I just, sorry, I'm going to have 2 minutes to help my husband.
Okay. This plan will content me and nothing else can bring me peace. For peace comes from pure formless awareness of perfect love and nothing else. So telling us very clearly that peace is the way. Perfect love's plan is for peace. It's going to bring you freedom, peace. Nothing else will do this. Nothing else is going to work. So I must desire it, the key point of this paragraph. I must desire, above all else, this peace. I must choose pure formless awareness of perfect love. Allow it to come into my mind. And much easier to make that choice when I understand clearly that nothing else will work. When there is no other alternative, there's only one option to find peace, then that clears the mind wonderfully. And I'll only find peace if I do this. So just rest in that peace for a few moments. And wait for Elaine. Abide in stillness. So be humble before him and yet great in him. Number 3. Be humble before it and yet magnificent in it. Value no plan of the ego before the plan of God. Value no plan of the belief in separation before the plan of perfect love. I'm humble before it, yet magnificent in it. Value no plan of the belief in separation before the plan of perfect love. Be over the plan of perfect love. I leave my place, perfect love's plan, empty. When you leave empty your place in his plan, which you must fill, you would join with me by your decision to join in any plan but his. I leave my place in perfect love's plan empty, which I must fill. I want to join with I leave my place in perfect love's plan empty, which I must fill if I want to join with Yeshua. Or by my decision to join any plan but perfect love's. I leave my place in perfect love's plan. So Yeshua calls me to fulfill my holy parts, translates into holy aware. Calls me to fulfill my holy aware part in the plan that perfect love is given to the world for its release from littleness. Pure formless awareness of perfect love, God, would have his host abide in perfect freedom. Pure formless awareness of perfect love, to have its host. Pure formless awareness of perfect love wants to have its host love in perfect freedom. Every allegiance to a plan awakening apart from it diminishes the value of its will for me. Allegiance to a plan of awakening apart from it diminishes the value of its will for me in my own awareness, and yet it is my awareness that is the host to pure formless awareness of perfect love. Pure formless awareness of perfect love wants host to live in perfect freedom. Every allegiance to a plan awakening from it diminishes the value of its will for me and my own awareness, and yet it is my awareness that is the host. What's he saying here in summary? That if I have other plans, I'm following the ego's plans, the idea of separation, belief in separation, then I'm not going to awaken. It's going to keep me away from the peace and the joy and the freedom that I yearn for. So don't be tempted to follow any other plans. Don't listen to the alternative voice of the ego or belief in separation. Stay true to your true awareness, which is pure formless awareness of perfect love that you remember through the Holy Spirit. So it's a remembrance. So number 4, moving swiftly on. Would you learn how perfect and immaculate would you learn how perfect and immaculate is the holy altar on which your Father has placed himself? I want to learn how perfect, immaculate the holy foundation. Only aware foundation of my source really is. I'll learn this in the holy instant. I'll learn this in the only aware moments. I willingly and gladly give up every plan except perfect loves. Well, there lies peace, perfectly clear because I've been willing to meet its conditions. I can claim I willingly and gladly give up every plan except perfect loves. For there lies peace, perfectly clear because I'm willing to meet peace's conditions. I can claim the fully aware moment. Anytime and anywhere I want it. In my practice, consciously let go of every plan. I've accepted for finding consciously in my practice. I consciously let go of every plan I've accepted for finding magnitude and littleness. That would be seeking some kind of satisfaction in the world, expectations, desires, which the Buddha noted are source of all suffering. Is trying to find magnitude and littleness. It is not there. It is not there. Use the now. Use the now only to recognize that I alone cannot know where it is. I can only deceive myself. Okay, Elaine, you back?
Oh, yes, back.
Okay, if you want to read number 4.
In the alternative,
Hmm.
the alternative, do I want to learn how perfect and immaculate the whole aware foundation of my source really is?
The wholly aware, wholly aware.
Wholly aware foundation of my source really is. I will learn this in the wholly aware moment in which I willingly and gladly give up every plan except perfect love's. For there lies peace, perfectly clear, because I have been willing to meet its conditions. I can claim the wholly aware moment anytime and anywhere I want it. In my practice, I consciously let go of every plan I have accepted for finding magnitude in littleness. It is not there. I use the now only to recognize that I alone cannot know where it is and can only deceive myself.
Okay, so what's he saying there?
Well, our
And
source
Bruce.
is our source is our perfect, immaculate, wholly aware moment. And I can only learn this in the wholly aware moment, in which I give up every plan except perfect love's. Because there's where all the peace and clarity is, providing I am willing to meet its conditions.
Hmm.
And I can give it up. I can claim the wholly aware moment anytime, anywhere. So just to continue to practice letting go.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
Always available,
yeah,
but it's a choice.
yeah,
So you consciously let go of every plan. Other plan, the ego's plan, is expectations, desires in this world, and grievances when those are not achieved. That's its plan. So when you notice yourself starting to go into expectation about a form outcome, some kind of desire for it, some kind of anticipation, and remember that you have a choice. You can correct. That correction is forgiveness. That's the miracle. Okay, I don't have to do this. I don't have to think about it this way. I can correct in the moment, and as I do, I'm taking little baby steps towards salvation. Okay, any other thoughts on that?
no, that's clear.
No? All right, so moving swiftly on then to number 5. In the
Is it the
alternative.
alternative? Yeah. Your true self is available, or my true self is available within the holy instant, as clear as I want it to be. And the extent to which I learn to accept it is the measure of the time in which the holy instant will be mine. I call to it to make. Number 3. Yeah, I call to make the holy instant mine at once. Doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah.
I call to me to make the holy instant mine at once. Does that sound right? I call to me.
No, so Yeshua doesn't measure time.
Yeah.
Will be mine. So he says, I call to you. He means Yeshua. So Yeshua calls to me to make the holy instant. Holy aware moment. Release from littleness. Awareness of the host of perfect love. Depends on willingness. Not on time. Okay, and read that from the top.
My true self is available within the holy instant, as clearly as I want it to be. And the extent to which I learn to accept it is the measure. Oh, the little box is in the way. I can't see. Yeah. I learn to accept it is the measure of the time in which the holy aware moment will be mine. Yeshua calls to me to make the holy aware moment mine at once, for the release from littleness in the awareness of the host of perfect love depends on willingness, not on time.
So it depends on your willingness, not on time, which is very comforting. We're not bound to stay here for lifetime after lifetime. If we're willing to let it go, to let go of our false ideas, attachments, enter into the now fully. And in that moment, we really go into the holy instant or the holy aware moment. Then what opens up is the whole of truth. The whole of this other reality is revealed to us in the moment. And that is a revelation. That can be absolutely revelatory, transformational. When you experience that. Okay. So any other thoughts on that?
No, that's very clear.
Depends on willingness, not on time. I think that's the key point. So if we're willing, we can do it right now, and we don't have to be caught up in time unnecessarily. It doesn't take a lot of time to be here now, to be fully in the moment. In fact, it takes no time at all. That's the whole point. Because in that state, there is no time. So you look at the timeline again. In that holy instant, it's like the single point of the arrow, isn't it? The tip. And Yeshua said, narrow is the way to heaven, and straight is the gate. What he was saying is it's a very narrow, your attention needs to be 100% focused in the now, and you let go of past and future. And that becomes the portal. Now you get into the arrow and it takes you up into pure formless awareness. Yeah, so it's about getting into the moment by moment, and using the moment, the present moment, as the portal to go into this awareness. And you go zhup, and you can instantly go there. This takes no time to go from here to here. That can happen in an instant. That's the holy instant. And then you're aware, you're in your true awareness, in pure formless awareness of perfect love. You rest in that, maybe only for a few moments, then you come back down instantly and you can perceive the situation that you're in differently. Because you've done that, gone into true awareness. And then the correction comes from that awareness, and that corrects your thoughts and your emotions about whatever the particular incident is. And you find that you've had a profound change of mind. Okay, so happy to move on to number 6.
Yeah.
Let's read it in the alternative, just the ego to translate.
The reason this course is simple is that the truth is simple. Complexity comes from the belief in separation and is nothing more than the belief in separation's attempt to obscure the obvious. I could live forever in the holy instant, beginning now and reaching to eternity, except for a simple reason. I do not obscure simplicity of this, for if I do, it will only be because I prefer not to recognize it and not to let it go.
I will not.
Will not. I will not. The simple reason, simply stated, is this. The holy instant is a time in which I receive and give perfect communication. This means, however, that it is a time in which my mind is open to both giving and receiving. It is the recognition that all minds are in communication. It therefore seeks to change nothing, but merely to accept everything.
Time in which my awareness is open to both giving and receiving. Recognition that all minds are in communication. Therefore, it seeks to change nothing, merely to accept everything. Okay, I'm going to read it from the top. Make sure we go to that.
The reason this course is simple is that the truth is simple. Complexity comes from the belief in separation and is nothing more than a belief in separation's attempt to obscure the obvious. I could live forever in the holy instant, being now and reaching to eternity, except for a very simple reason. I will not obscure the simplicity of this reason, for if I do, it will only be because I prefer not to recognize it and not let it go. The simple reason, simply stated, is this. The holy aware moment is a time in which I receive and give perfect communication. However, this means that it is a time in which my awareness is open to both giving and receiving. It is the recognition that all minds are in communication. Therefore, it seeks to change nothing, but merely to accept everything.
Yeah. Okay, so what's he saying?
Well, the reason,
Paragraph.
yeah. Well, the reason the course is simple is the truth is simple, but our separated selves make it more complex. And it's just our belief in separation in an attempt to obscure the obvious. We could live forever in the holy moment, beginning now to reaching to eternity. Simple, but there's a, yeah.
So the holy aware moment is the closest approximation of eternity in this world. It's how we experience eternity in this world. It's being completely in the moment
Mhm,
with no awareness of time, no past, no future.
mhm.
And it feels very blissful, it feels very peaceful, joyful, blissful. We've all had at least one experience probably in our lives where we've just been in the now, no past, no future, and it's very liberating because it's taking us into pure formless awareness of perfect love, which is our source, and that's the infinite, ultimate, absolute reality of us and everything. So the now is key. That's why in all spiritual practices and paths, they talk about the now, or being in the moment, or being present. And that allows you to start accessing this deeper awareness we call God. Okay, anything else you want to add there?
No, it's very clear.
Receiving, maybe. What's he saying about the giving and the receiving?
Well, we're open to it, aren't we? We're open to when we're in this holy aware moment, we're open to giving and receiving. And then all minds are in communication. And we don't need to change anything, but merely accept everything.
Yeah. Acceptance of what is already there. The now is always there, and eternity is always there if we can just accept it. So it's just an acceptance rather than trying to make something happen, change something. That's the ego's script. Just accepting what is, what's already there, and it has always been there. We just didn't see it. We didn't accept it before, so it wasn't there for us. All minds on communication is a key point, time in which awareness is open to both giving and receiving. So in the now, I can give to others and extend to them, and I can also receive. Okay, any other thoughts on number 6, holy aware moment? Giving and receiving, communication.
Yeah, like
it all happens in the now. I think the key point here is it all happens in the now, in the holy aware moment. That's the translation, which I think is useful, because I'm wholly aware in that moment. There's a whole awareness of pure formless awareness in the now, and there is no false awareness of time.
Yeah, it's a simple truth, but we make it so complex. Yeah.
So in the simplicity of it, that's what we struggle with, because the ego wants complexity. The simplicity is it's now, it's always now. I mean, what a simple statement. It's always now, it's never been other than now. So the wholly aware moment is now, always, and it's always available to me and to everyone, always available throughout all time. It's been available. So eternity is right there in the present moment, in front of our, literally in front of our noses.
Yeah.
And yet we don't see it because our mind is time traveling. Our mind's off on the timeline, thinking about the past or the future. And so that wholly aware moment is obscured by our thinking, which keeps us rooted on the timeline from birth to death and away from this wholly aware moment in which we could access all of eternity, the whole of pure formless awareness and all of its gifts.
Yeah.
Right here, right now, without having to do anything else than tap into what's already there. Just be aware of what's already there.
Which I've heard, I do understand that, but there's sometimes certain situations, like say if you've got a 2-year-old running around like an idiot, you have to be one step ahead rather than being in the now, so that they don't get themselves into bother.
But what are you doing? You would respond then in the now. So you perceive that potential danger to the 2-year-old and you act accordingly in the moment. Okay, so there's a situation, this is what I'll do right now. Okay.
Right.
The Holy Spirit will give you that guidance. Okay, do that. Yes, go and stop the 2-year-old from doing that, or hold its hand, or distract it with something else. And so you're acting always in the now. You might say, well, I'm fearing a future outcome.
Yeah, well, going to run across the road or do something stupid, so you feel as though you've got to be on the ball.
But when does that impulse to act come? It comes now.
Yeah.
You see something, there's a situation. You described a couple of months ago, you had a situation with dogs and cats and crossing a road, if I recall.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So in the moment, were you worried? Or did you just go, right, this is what I've got to do now?
Yeah, I just did what I had to do, yeah.
Right then. So but you weren't actually thinking about the future in that moment.
No,
you were just, okay, there's such an act now, and there's an impulse, and you just do it. You're very, very present, which is why your action was effective.
Yeah.
And then the ego came in afterwards. I remember you
say,
it was like, oh, but what if now it's going into future? What if that had happened? And I'm playing out the scenarios. And so now you're making the future real when it wasn't in the moment. You weren't thinking about the future. None of those thoughts were there. You just act in the now, doing what you needed to do.
Yeah.
And so the Holy Spirit can always help you in that way, because being fully present here now is the only time that you can take effective action. You can't take action in the past or the future. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Because they're illusions. They don't really exist. They're just mental conceptions. You can only act right here, right now. And the same for thought. I can't think, speak, act right here, right now.
You can sort of anticipate what the naughty 2-year-old is going to do. So that is sort of taking you into the future, because you can see. So I guess you act now to prevent that happening.
But in that moment, let's say it's about to cross the road, you see in the moment what it's doing, and the Holy Spirit will say that, right, you need to act because this is potentially harmful, and you do what's truly helpful. And from that impulse to be truly helpful, you then respond. But you're not worrying in the moment about the future, are you?
No.
You're just going, right, I can see what, right, that's what's happening now, right, act now. So it's very, very present moment. And then, the ego came in afterwards and then started playing the scenarios and going, oh, what if that? And what if that? And what if that had happened? Because it likes to do that. Then you off in the future, which is illusory.
Yeah.
That was all just a mental conception in your mind, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so that obscures the wholly aware moment, Because now you time traveling. You've got, oh, you know, what if that scenario happened? Or that one? And none of that's reality. That's just imagination. It's a fiction in your mind. And that obscures the present moment for you, because this awareness is then no longer available to you in the present moment. And you're now caught up on the timeline of all the apparent consequences that could have happened. And the more you do that, the more you deny this and you go into this and you root your mind onto the timeline, you know, the more disconnected you become from your source, the less present you become. Your mind just is time traveling all the time. Well, my past has been like this, so my future is going to be like this, and the now is covered over. And there's no room for like, well, just right now, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? See that? So you can always act right here, even if there's a danger. You perceive the danger right now. Okay, something in you says act now, and you know, do something about it now.
Right.
And don't dilly-dally. Actually, you'll be very effective. You know, just do it. Often in crisis situations, when the ego drops away, then people are very effective because they're not thinking too much. They're just responding from a deeper part of their awareness. Yeah. So happy with number 6?
Yes.
And in the alternative, how can
I do this when I would prefer to have private thoughts and keep them? The only way I could do that would be to deny the perfect communication that makes the holy instant what it is.
Any aware moment.
I believe I can harbor thoughts I do not want to share, and that awakening lies in keeping thoughts to myself alone. For in my private thoughts, in private thoughts, known only to myself, I think I find a way to keep what I would have alone and share what I would share. And then I wonder why it is that I am not in full communication. Now I have to lift that up.
Sorry, let me just catch up.
Yeah.
What I want to have alone, I want to have alone and share what I want to share.
And then I wonder why
now is that
in full communication with those around me, and with pure formless awareness of perfect love, which surrounds all of me together.
all of us together.
Oh yeah, all of us together.
Yeah, read it in the from the top. Alternative.
How can I do this when I prefer to have private thoughts and keep them? The only way I could do this would be to deny the perfect communication that makes the wholly aware moment what it is. I believe I can harbour thoughts I do not want to share, and that awakening lies in keeping thoughts to myself alone. For in private thoughts, known only to myself, I think I find a way to keep what I want to have alone and share what I want to share. And then I wonder why it is that I am not in full communication with those around me and with pure formless awareness of perfect love, which surrounds all of us together.
Okay, so thoughts on that?
Well, we
What's he
prefer,
saying there?
yeah. Well, we prefer to keep our private thoughts, but it's denying our perfect communication with the wholly aware moment. We believe if we harbour our thoughts, we don't want to share, and that awakening lies in keeping thoughts to myself alone. Private thoughts, known only to myself, I think I find a way to keep. It's because I want them alone and I'll share them when I want to share them. And then we wonder why we're not in full communication with those around us.
So private thoughts are obviously a device of the separate self to make itself real. Who's having private thoughts then? The idea of privacy as a, as a separation concept. Someone said to me, she wanted stuff removed from YouTube because of privacy concerns. I'm like, but that's separation. Who's the private self that wants to protect its privacy? Only a separate self could want that.
Yeah.
So it's a private thoughts perpetuate the separate self, and they're very much connected with time traveling. So if you think about most of your private thoughts, it's not a thought of, well, I'm just here now and just enjoying the moment and kind of sharing that awareness. It's a thought of my past. I've got a guilty secret. I've got a resentment. I've got a grievance. That's my own private thought. Or it's my fear of the future. I've got my special fears, my anxieties about the future. And it's just mine. No one else shares in these. It's my grievance. It's my anxiety. It's my worry. And that perpetuates my separate self.
What
and I feel
about,
isolated and alone and vulnerable in that separation.
yeah, but there's some private thoughts are best unsaid. For example, me whisking those kittens off to an anonymous person. That's a private thought, isn't it? Because I'm not going to tell anybody.
Yeah, technically it is, but I think what he's meaning is it's a thought that is deliberately separative.
Oh, I see.
Private thought
Yeah.
is deliberately separating yourself from someone else. It's my thought. It's my emotional drama. It's my life. It's my worry. It's my my me, mine.
Right.
And often related to pretty ugly thoughts. You don't want to share ugly thoughts, do you?
No.
So like I'm feeling angry and resentful, and I keep that to myself. I don't share it.
Of course.
Because one doesn't voice these kinds of things. So that's an example of a private thought.
Just as well, we don't voice them. Some private thoughts are best kept private.
Well, there's. But what we do then is we harbor them in our own minds and we nurture them. And so the Holy Spirit's saying, don't necessarily just blurb it out to anyone. Say to someone, well, I just had a thought of attacking you or killing you or something. That's not something you really want to tell someone. But you deal with it. You give it to the Holy Spirit
and let it go.
You don't hold on to it and let it go. And then you bring in the pure formless awareness of perfect love to clean it out. So it's no longer a private thought that given over. But if you hold on to it and you nurture it, and you know, let's say you foster your grievance, you nurture your grievance,
Yes.
desire for, you know, revenge or something, it can make you very, very, very separate, very bitter, very twisted. And you notice if people do that over years and years, it makes them into a very you know, contracted, limited, you know, dark. It's a dark energy, a dark,
Murderous
limited awareness.
intent, like that murderous intent. Yeah, they might sort of lead to murder. Yeah.
So that's what private thoughts do. You know, you nurture them and you harbor them, and it takes you away from oneness and towards, you know, separation.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
clear.
you're always time traveling. Private thoughts. How can you have a private thought in the now? Always related to the past or the future, if you think about it.
Yeah, of course.
What I've done or haven't done, what someone else has done or hasn't done. And then based on that, what's going to happen in the future. Desire in the future, you know, might have a private thought that's a desire, or I might have a private thought that's fear, what I think might happen, based on a private thought of my past. Oh, well, this is my past, this is my conditioning, and all of that obscures the present moment, which is all that that these thoughts are designed to do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Happy with the idea of private thoughts. It's quite a major one. It's a lot of vigilance required.
Yeah, because you get
Private
confused, because you get sort of strange private thoughts which you wouldn't let out in general. So they're just obscure, stupid thoughts. So you let them go.
Yes, but then you don't harbor them. They're private if you hold on to them, you nurture them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I bring it in, I give it to the Holy Spirit, and I'm honest. I go, that's just a crazy thought. That's not true. That's,
that's it.
Something I don't want to hold on
Where
to.
that's come from? Yeah, it's just come from
let
nowhere.
It go, and then it's not private anymore. You've given it over to the Holy Spirit and to pure formless awareness for you know, to be undone. Then it's no longer private. You haven't kept it for yourself. You know, it's keeping it to yourself and nurturing this thought.
Yeah.
As a, you know, an obsessive compulsive type of expectation or a grievance. And you nurture it and you work it, and that creates an identity for you every time you're thinking that thought.
Yeah.
Creating a separate identity for yourself. So that's why private thoughts are so destructive. Okay, so happy with number 7.
Yeah, that's clear.
On to number 8. And we thought you would.
Am I in the original or both?
Just do, yeah. There's not much to it, just Holy Spirit in there. So,
right. Every thought I want to keep hidden shuts communication off because I want it so. It is impossible to recognize perfect communication while breaking communication holds value to me. Ask yourself honestly. I ask myself honestly. Do I want to have perfect communication? And am I wholly willing to let everything that interferes with it go forever? If the answer is no, then the remembrance of perfect love's readiness to give it to me is not enough to make it mine. For I am not ready to share communication with this remembrance. And it cannot come into my mind, a mind that has decided to oppose it. For the holy instant is given and received with equal willingness, being the acceptance of the single awareness that governs all thought.
Mm. In my acceptance of single awareness, the single will that governs all thought, and single awareness that maybe it underlies all thought. Yeah. So, want to read that from the top?
Every thought I want to keep hidden shuts communication off, because I want it so. It's impossible to recognize perfect communication while breaking communication holds value to me. I ask myself honestly, do I want to have perfect communication? And I am wholly willing to let everything that interferes with it go forever. If the answer is no, then the remembrance of perfect love's readiness to give it to me is not enough to make it mine, for I am not ready to share communication with this remembrance, and it cannot come into a mind that has decided to oppose it. For the wholly aware moment is given and received with equal willingness, being my acceptance of the single awareness that underlies all thought.
Okay, so what's he saying here?
Well, all thoughts that we want to keep shuts us off from the communication of pure formless awareness, perfect love. And we have to ask ourselves honestly, what do we want? Do we have to choose perfect communication and be wholly willing to let everything go forever? And if we are not sure and the answer is no, then the remembrance of perfect love's readiness is not going to be able to share the communication. We're just not ready. And it can't come to a mind that opposes it. And the wholly aware moment is given in equal willingness. It's to give and receive, yeah. So we need that single awareness that underlies all thought. Being my acceptance of the single awareness.
Okay, yeah. So happy with that. Number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Moving swiftly on, I think this is the last one, number 9. Okay, so not much to translate except in the last couple. So the alternative.
The necessary condition for the holy instant does not require that I have no thoughts that are not pure, but it does.
Sorry. Yeah, just need to go and get some holy aware moments. is only aware moment does not require that I have no thoughts. I'm not pure. But for me to experience the wholly aware moment does not require that I have no thoughts and I'm not pure.
But it does require that I have none that I would keep.
Yeah. So we don't hold on to it. In other words, the private thoughts, whatever thoughts that block our awareness of this, we let them go.
Mhm.
Ramakrishna was enlightened. Asked once, do you ever have any impure thoughts? And his disciples were quite shocked when he said yes, because they thought he was perfect.
Mm.
So the difference is that I don't keep them; they don't stick.
Yeah.
Whereas in your mind, they do. For me, it's like, well, I observe them, they rise, they pass away, they're gone. There's no attachment to them at all.
Yeah. Mhm. Innocence is not my making. It is given me the instant I want it. At one moment would not be if there were no need for it. I will not be able to accept perfect communication as long as I want to hide it from myself. What I want to hide is hidden from me. In my practice, then, try only to be vigilant against deception, and I do not seek to protect the thoughts I want to keep to myself. Let the remembrance of perfect love's purity shine them away, and be wholly ready in my awareness for the purity it offers me. Thus will it make me ready to acknowledge that I am host to pure formless awareness of perfect love and hostage to no one and to nothing.
Okay, I want to read it from the top.
For me to experience the wholly aware moment does not require that I have no thoughts that are not pure, but it does require that I have none that I want to keep. Innocent is not of my making. It is given to me the instant I want it. At one moment would not be if there were no need for it. I will not be able to accept perfect communication as long as I want to hide it from myself. For what I want to hide is hidden from me. In my practice, then, I am only vigilant against deception and do not seek to protect the thoughts I want to keep to myself. I let the remembrance of perfect love's purity shine them away, and I am wholly ready in my awareness for the purity it offers me. So will it make me ready to acknowledge that I am host to pure formless awareness of perfect love and hostage to no one and nothing.
Okay, so what's he saying there?
Well, it's saying that doesn't it require us to have no thoughts that are impure, but just requires us not to keep them. So we will get impure thoughts, but we need not keep them. And we
Yeah. Fortunately, because otherwise we'd all be
mad.
no hope. No hope. It's like, okay, yes, they're going to come, but just let them go. Don't, don't hold on to any of them. Then you're not nurturing private thoughts. You might have one, but you don't keep it. You let it go. You don't dwell on it.
Mm.
You don't dwell on it. It's, it just comes and it goes.
Yeah.
Passes by. In the Gospel of Thomas, Yeshua advised Thomas just we must be like passers by. It's like, okay, just let these thoughts pass by. Don't, attach to any of them. So that's the instruction. When you notice something that's unpleasant, unwholesome, you're aware of it and you go, okay, that's just another crazy ego idea. So no, I don't want to hold on to that. And I'm not guilty or bad or evil or anything for thinking it. It's just the random kind of chaos of what the ego does in my mind.
Yeah. Mm.
Until I've cleaned it all out, these kinds of thoughts can occur, and sometimes with great, rapidity. When I was awakening, it's like, oh my God, these thoughts, this is just insane. But it's because the ego is defending. Yeah, it's like, oh God, it's awful. Now, will they not go away? But it's because it's defending itself, and the way it does it is by bringing up
your weaknesses,
crazy, unpleasant, harmful, so-called evil thoughts, and try to get you to pay attention to them, and to not just pay attention, but to actually speak on them and act on them. That's the
be
game.
at their mercy. Yeah, being at their mercy.
It wants you to make them manifest in your experience, so they then become real.
Yeah.
If you just let them go, then there's no reality to it. Okay, what comes in, it passes by, it's gone. I let it go. It's passed by and it's gone. It has no power to stick. And what it wants to do is get these thoughts to stick in your awareness.
Yeah.
And now the thought becomes a defining thought of your self-concept, and it adds to the construct of the self-concept. Which is obviously taking you in the wrong direction. You don't want that. Okay, so let's we're in here. Multiple on that. So let's do a little ChatGPT magic.
Oh yes, artificial intelligence, very good, that, isn't it?
Well, I'll save so much time. We just whack all this in.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
It writes a summary for us. So I've got a very brief, like the key idea. So what I'm going to do is keep those. That's the key takeaway. One paragraph, and then the summary is like 200, 250 words, something like that. So let's back it in there. Happening. There we go. It's bombed out. It's really annoying. I don't know why Google does this. I'm having issues with Google Chrome. Keeps collapsing.
Yeah, Dave's had the same. Yeah, he's having a right time with it.
I don't know what it is. It's always been stable. Last couple of weeks,
But
just
Dave's is in the computer
keeps
place.
crashing, and I'm
yeah.
not sure if it's because
Strange.
I'm not sure if it's because well, I don't know, maybe it's Microsoft. They want you to use theirs.
Right. I think that's obviously because Dave's is in the computer shop and it's
It's
taking days to get
running
back.
within the Windows operating system.
Yeah, you were saying the other day. Yeah.
So I don't know. Who knows? Who
Frustrating.
knows? And they've just introduced AI. Bing now does their search engine now does AI.
Okay.
And do AI type stuff. So they want you to use it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll just persevere with Google Chrome. I don't particularly like Microsoft. So these things just to okay. See if it keeps the numbers. Oh, actually, hang on. It's the wrong instruction. I'm not concentrating. So let's just get here. Okay, we want a summary instruction. We don't want translation. So, and here, okay, so there's the instruction. Right, why is that? Why is it not pasting? Oh, I don't know why it's not pasting. Okay, now it's pasted pasted multiple times. All right. 50 words. A little bit longer than 250 words. A lot longer than 250 words. Okay. So we'll say summarize. See what it does. Okay, so let's whack us in here. So that's the key message. Mhm. Okay, so personalized executive summary.
You got it?
Yeah, it's up there. This section emphasizes. Do you want to read it?
Yeah. The section emphasizes the immediate learning potential of the course, stating that the only obstacle is my belief in time. The present moment holds the awareness I desire. I must decide to embrace it without delay. Surrendering attachments to insignificance is essential for progress in my spiritual practice. By aligning with the plan of perfect love and abandoning personal plans, I can find true peace. I must fulfill my role in perfect love's plan for the world's release from a limited awareness. The whole aware moment, characterized by perfect communication, is available to me, but I must be willing to let go of private thoughts and embrace openness. Recognizing that all minds are interconnected allows me to accept everything without seeking change. I need to question if I genuinely decide perfect communication and if I'm willing to let go of anything that hinders it. If I am not ready, the readiness of perfect love to offer perfect communication is not enough. In my practice, I consciously release all plans and thoughts that hinder communication, allowing perfect love's purity to shine through, making myself ready to acknowledge that I am host to pure formal awareness of perfect love.
Yeah. I think that's a reasonable reasonable summary of it.
Or we
In
can be
mine,
hostage to the separate self. That was a good one. I like the way they put that.
yeah. The key
Yeah.
message
Yeah.
is even shorter. You want to read that?
The key message of this section is that the holy instant is there for me to experience as soon as I wholly choose to do so. Only my attachment to littleness and my choice to hold on to private thoughts can prevent me from the full communication of giving and receiving love that is the condition for experiencing the holy instant. This experience of full communication with my source will help me to acknowledge that I am pure formless awareness of perfect love and not a victim of other people and circumstances. Very good.
Yeah. So I think they both.
Need to read that regularly.
Hmm.
We are not victims of other people and circumstances. Yeah, that's very
Mm.
true. Yeah, very good.
No, that's the whole dilemma, and the delusion of the ego is that we are victims, and that
Mm,
therefore we can be hurt, we can be
easily,
negatively
yeah.
affected, that
Yeah. It's
our
too
fear,
unpredictable. Yeah, very unpredictable, the ego. One minute, they love you, the next they don't. Yeah, very unpredictable.
yeah, it's erratic and capricious, as he says. It's erratic
can be.
erratic and capricious because it doesn't know what it is. It's just this kind of random, chaotic thought system. No truth. So yeah, would you like to do a little meditation on the personalized summary?
Yeah, that'd be good. And then I'll do my chores.
Okay. So make yourself comfortable. Sitting in your favorite meditation posture, feet shoulder width apart. Keep your back straight. Your hands in your lap, close your eyes. And start off by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises, and the subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. Clenching your sphincter muscle to lock the energy in. Up the spine into the crown of your head. Pausing at the top of the inhale. Maximal inhale breath. And you're just going to let go of any thoughts and emotions that are difficult, blocks the awareness of love's presence, any resistance to this meditation. Exhale the breath, the nothingness, there we are, it's going, gone. All of those sunk into the spine, all the last remaining out. So you're just going to breathe in and out through your nose as you listen to these words. This is the personalized executive summary of section 4, chapter 15. This is entitled Practicing the Holy Instant. Practicing the Holy Aware Moment. So breathing in as you listen to the words, and then as you exhale, breathe out and repeat them after me. In the gaps that I leave, so you've got space to actually express them out loud. So this is an affirmation of the truth. Breathing in. This section emphasizes the immediate learning potential of the course. So as you exhale, repeat that. Out loud, ideally, or just softly to yourself. Breathing in again. Stating that the only obstacle is my belief in time. And exhale and repeat those words out loud. You exhale out your nose. Breathe in again. Through your nose, stomach rising, chest rising. Hold the breath briefly. The present moment holds the awareness I desire. Breathing in again. And I must decide to embrace it without delay. Exhale and repeat that. Always in and out through the nose. So just do that automatically from now on. I'm not going to remind you to breathe. Just do that, breathing in as I speak the words and exhaling and out through your nose and speaking the words. And the gaps I leave. So begin, breathe in, surrendering attachments to what is insignificant. Is essential for progress in my spiritual practice. Breathing in again. By aligning with the plan of perfect love and letting go of my personal plans, I can find true peace. Breathing in. I must fulfill my role in perfect love's plan. For the world's release from limited awareness. Breathing in. A wholly aware moment. Characterized by perfect communication. Is available to me. But I must be willing to let go of private thoughts and embrace openness. Breathing in, recognizing that all minds are interconnected. Allows me to accept everything without seeking change. Exhale the truth of that. Recognizing all minds are interconnected allows me to accept everything without seeking change. Breathe in again. Through the nose, nice deep inhale breath. I need to question if I genuinely desire perfect communication. And if I'm willing to let go of anything that hinders it, anything that blocks it. Breathing in. If I am not ready, I need to question if I genuinely desire perfect communication. If I'm willing to let go of anything that blocks it. So just question that. Really willing to let go of anything and everything that blocks communication. Make a commitment in your heart that you are ready. You want only this. Breathing in again. If I am not ready, readiness of perfect love to offer perfect communication will not be sufficient. I must be ready. I practice. Consciously release all plans and thoughts that block or hinder communication, allowing perfect love's purity to shine through. Allow perfect love's purity to shine through. I'm making myself ready to acknowledge that I am a host to pure formless awareness, perfect love. So feel into that you're a host to perfect love. Only my attachment to littleness and my choice to hold on to private thoughts can prevent me from the full communication of giving and receiving love. That is the condition for experiencing the wholly aware moment. This experience of full communication with my source will help me to acknowledge that I am pure formless awareness of perfect love. And not a victim of other people and circumstances. And so just rest in this knowledge. I am pure formless awareness of perfect love. surrender into this experience of pure formless awareness of perfect love. There's nothing else to do, nowhere else to go, nothing else to think about. Just breathe in and out through your nose, relax, be still, and experience the holy aware moment right now. Surrender into the moment, no thoughts of past or future, just a present experience, peace, joy, bliss. No thoughts, just pure awareness, pure formless awareness. It's called pure formless awareness. No thoughts, no conscious thoughts, no subject-object thoughts. It's pure formless awareness of perfect love arising in your mind. Nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. Please relax, be still, and sink inwards to the fully aware moment. When thoughts arise that seemingly disturb this deep peace, let them go using today's lesson. Remind yourself that forgiveness or letting go offers me everything I want, everything I need. Gives me access to the holy aware moment. So I just breathe into whatever that thought and that feeling is. Breathe in the light, beautiful golden or white light. You can imagine and just blow it away. Breeze of your breath, let go of any attachment to thoughts, emotions, body sensations. So now letting go offers me everything I want. Today I accept this as true. Today I receive the gifts of perfect love. I am perfect love. And that again, I am So just gently coming back now. Deep awareness, internal awareness of your body and the breath, senses in the world. And on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. So 1, just breathing in. And seeing how the stomach rises and the chest rises and the subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. Pausing at the top of the inhale. Smile. Scan your mind. Notice any thoughts, emotions, related body sensations going on. Once again, just let them go. Remind yourself you don't want any private thoughts. So just let them go. The breath, so letting go offers me everything I want. You exhale. Today I accept this is true. Today I receive the gifts of perfect love. So exhale, just blow it all out. It will go. Remind yourself that I am perfect love. I want to say that 3 times to yourself. I am perfect love. If you prefer, I am pure formless awareness of perfect love. I am loving awareness. Any of those forms will do. Say that 3 times aloud to anchor this loving awareness into your awareness so that it becomes you in the next. Moment by moment, carries you through the whole evening on into tomorrow. So it's said, so it's done. So now on the count of 3, just open your eyes. Take a moment just to look around, observing the various objects in the room around you. Clearly it feels it's triggering you. And just let that go. If there's anything that's unpleasant, just remind yourself letting go offers me everything I want. And you blow it away with the breeze of your breath. Notice that just this deeper awareness underlying all of your sense perceptions, same awareness that you had when your eyes were closed, still there, available to you. And just stay rooted in that awareness. With the intention to stay here for the rest of the evening, on into tomorrow. Stay connected to it by practicing today's lesson. Ideally every hour, 3-minute breath break you can listen to help you do that, or follow the instructions I've given you in your email and text message for today to practice in under a minute. And in this awareness, carry on your day in the holy instant, or the holy aware moment, moment by moment by moment. So that brings us to the end of the meditation. And today's session. So thank you, Elaine.
Yeah, thank you. Very good.
Very good, very good. Yay!
It was very good, yes.
We did it. We finished.
We did, and I'm going to go and do
Yeah.
what we practiced today with the dog walking. Not allow that monkey mind to
Yeah.
be here, there, and everywhere. Bring it back,
Yeah.
bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Into the moment. Watch the breath. So these practices like breath watching are there to bring you into the moment and let go of that, monkey mind that's chattering away. So if you focus on the breath, very difficult for the mind to be engaged. So that's
yeah,
why breathwork practices work. So you can do that as you're walking, breathe in and out through your nose. Just focus
right.
on the subtle inhale and the subtle exhale out of your nose, and you might
Right.
notice the stomach rise. And if you watch your breath, it'll keep you very present.
Okay, I shall try that.
No,
Okay,
totally aware
great.
moment. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So
Great. Thank you very much.
tomorrow, thought maybe we could do an evening session. What's your
The only thing is
Sure.
there's a special evening tomorrow because Dave's grandchildren are coming over surprising him. So I have to be
Oh,
out. We've got an appointment at 6.
right? Okay.
So for me, the
So
evening, normally it's better.
The afternoon would be better.
For me, it would be, but it depends on other
Yeah.
folks, I guess, and yourself, of course.
Well, I don't know. You're the only one who's here, so I can do either. So
Okay. Well, certainly for tomorrow, the afternoon would be better
yeah.
because I've got work in the
All right.
morning.
So 12:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
would be 10 minutes late, but yeah, because I've got work in the morning. But yeah,
Yeah.
about 1:45 I can get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. See you then.
great.
Thanks, Elaine.
Okay, thank you. Namaste.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
So thanks to Elaine for joining. Next session tomorrow, 12:30 UK time, 1:30 SA time. Hope to see you then. And stay in flow in the meantime. Remember that forgiveness or letting go offers everything you want. And you accept this as true, receive the gifts of perfect love. So that'll keep you in the pure formless awareness of perfect love, in a state of flow, in peace and joy, which is what I wish for you. And namaste, which means that divine presence of perfect love in me acknowledges and honors that same presence in you.